Shifting Time, Episode 7. The drive to Kennebunkport, Maine was only a few hours from where they live in Boston. Crystal and Dan make it there by late morning on Friday. The kids and their friends are arriving in the late afternoon in time for dinner. Crystal likes to get there to bring some food, games, and most importantly, to energetically clear the house so they can have a great weekend. After unloading the car, they have lunch out on the wraparound porch of this large 6-bedroom house. They usually stay in another space, but it was booked this weekend that they needed to catch Jessica at the end of the summer, before she leaves for her research in Greenland. They like to have enough space to bring friends. The view overlooking the rocky coast is stunning. They really love the energy in this area and the long hikes by the ocean. The energy felt very dense just walking up to the house, so Crystal knows that she has some work to do. She has Dan go on a long walk so she can set up her crystals and space clearing tools to clear the space. Crystal tunes into the spirit of the house and does a meditation that takes her through every room to see what the energy looks like and needs clearing. The spirit of the house is an older man who spent many years sailing on the coast. He welcomes Crystal eagerly and tells her he has been asking for help in the spirit realm to clear some spirits and bad energy. In her meditation, she sees the story unfold. She sees some fancy cars pull up to the property. It looks like the early 1900s when there first were cars. Some well-dressed businessmen and wives get out of the car with their families. Looks like this was a summer house for. She feels into the energy. Irish mob from Boston. Looks like the families stay most of the summer while the men go back to the city. This goes on for years. The children grow up and the parents get older. They come less often. Some years the house even stays empty. A drama unfolds when the son falls in love with a Native American woman that the father disapproves of. The son marries her and takes her to live at this house where they eventually are raising a few children. Then a brutal scene unfolds where the old-style vehicles from 1930s pull up and several men get out with guns. They blast into the house and murder the wife and children. The husband comes home and finds the bloodbath, while the murderers are still there. He pulls out his gun and kills at least 3 before he gets shot down. The spirits of the slaughtered are still lingering and want to be released. Crystal gets to work with her tools, going room to room, clearing the energies from the bloodbath and other bad energies that have built up over the years, even from the other owners that lived there, including the sailor that greeted her when she started the process. She escorts all of the spirits who were trapped there from their wrongful deaths, and they find peace. The shift is very evident. Then she goes through the house clearing any residual energies. When she is satisfied, she goes through again with an essential oil spray that she had intuitively prepared before she came. She moves through each room with the spray and doing whole body mudras to bring in clear energies, bringing a sense of peace, joy, love, playfulness, and clarity. She wants the family to enjoy their weekend. When she is finished, she strips off all her white clothes that she was wearing and starts the washing machine. Then she heads to the master bedroom to take a salt bath in cold water. Then refills the tub with some essential oils and enjoys a well-needed soak. Daniel comes home as she is getting dressed and notices a huge shift in the energies. He is pretty used to how this magically happens with Crystal around. They have a short while to relax before the kids show up in a few different vehicles. Stephen and Jessica arrive first with lots more prepared food that Stephen brought them from his restaurant. They will be well fed this weekend. He and Jessica are setting up some games for later when Maggie arrives with Brad and Andrea. They are so glad they could join them. They usually have other friends who couldn't make it this weekend, and as Crystal says, it's always the perfect group. Introductions are made, and there is definite chemistry between Stephen and Andrea. They start bantering right away. It also seems that they have a lot of interests in common. After dinner, they celebrate Jessica's and Stephen's birthdays, for which they are a few weeks before and after. Crystal brought a really great cake. Then off to the living area, where there is a large table set up with some board games. Lots of laughter with lighthearted competition that lasted for the next several hours. The next day, they all go on a hike down by the water. They end up separating into smaller groups eventually and meet back for lunch on the large wraparound porch. The afternoon is spent with lawn games on the beautiful large property with colorful beds of flowers and shrubs nicely landscaped. After bocce ball, croquet, volleyball, and badminton, they have some downtime before preparing dinner, which is a group effort. More board games after dinner. They head back after a large brunch on Sunday. By the end of the weekend, there is a definite connection between Stephen and Andrea, and they start seeing each other regularly when they get back to Boston. It is obvious that Brad would like the same with Maggie, but somehow Maggie is resistant to anything other than friendship, even though she really likes him.